Over the course of the next hour, I'm going to take you on an exploration of quotes from interviews I conducted in 2017 and 2018. You will hear about the way that my interlocutors feel about Arab-influenced underground dance music, or UDM, how they produce it, and their opinions about other DJs and artists who produce and perform it. You will also hear about their experiences with home or at home, and the way that they identify with their Arabness. These opinions, feelings, experiences, and identities inform the music that they make and the way that they in turn perform their Arabness publicly.
About marrying instruments and things that were never meant to go together, and to try to bring it into like when we perform like 1 hour of something really precisely pieced together.
Egyptian over. I never really say I'm Arab, but I say I'm Egyptian. It's just because that's what my whole family says. But I don't really like. I don't really identify myself as much. You know, like it's the only time this comes up is when somebody asks me like, "Where are you from?" Like, I'm Egyptian. You know, it doesn't really go further than that. But I don't know.
No, that's...
Since I'm half, also, it's like I'm not the. I don't really try to like enforce it on people. I don't try to show off that I'm like Egyptian or Arab, so that topic really rarely comes, you know. And then when I'm in Egypt, like people say Egyptian over Arab, though nobody really says Arab over there.
Okay.
Well, they do, but like not. You hear more Egyptian. It's always been Montreal for me because it's what I've known since I was growing up. But every time I go to Egypt, though, it still feels like very homey because I have so much family there, and it's like even just being in Egypt, I feel so comfortable. So this is why I'm actually planning to move in November and skip a winter in Montreal and stay in Egypt for winter.
and these two worlds, when you bring them together, it adds like a third dimension to it. So in a way, it's something new and ancient as well at the same time.
sound. Like even for what I play, I never really play Oriental anymore.
Yeah.
I just feel it's like it got so flooded, so now it just becomes like a bit cliche to like all that whole sound. But I'm just like more and more I'm coming like more like back to the roots of like when I started DJing. I went back to like the deep tech house and all that, which but like if I find a cool track that's like Oriental, I'll still play it, but like
for sure.
I'm not really focusing on that, you know. Even for productions, like I'm trying to go my certain style, but I don't really sample much aside from just like I don't know, aside from like just air or like I sampled in Egypt a lot, but like I was sampling like people in the street and stuff like that.
really interesting too, because that is still like, I mean, you could think about that still as Arab or Oriental, just because inherently it is, because it's on the streets. I think it's interesting too that like we identify what is Arab and what is Oriental with these like certain melodic lines, when really like what you are saying that you're recording is actually like the lives of people outside on the streets, right?
Before when it started, it was cool, to hear like one Oriental song and then like a whole set. And now it's like a lot of people are just putting it everywhere, So it's just like it's a full Oriental set, So it took away from like the nice little touch of like Oriental and side to side or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just like my personal thing. That like I'm not against it,
back here for me was I had to come back like for my family and things like that, but also I was very excited to be here in Morocco, as it's booming for electronic music with all the festivals and the local scene. But there was a little bit of disappointment, because I think that's a trend.
قلنا لها أين أرض العراق فقالت ونحن بتربانها، وهبت بحسن هبوب الدبور مستقبلات مهب الصبا، روامي الكفاف وكبد الوهاد وجار البويرة وادي القضا، وجابت بسيطة جوب الرداء وبين النعام وبين المهد، إلى عقدة الجوف حتى شفت بماء الجراوي بعض الصدى.
Thinking of like how I could make the move to there for winters. I felt really disconnected from Montreal, so it was helping me like work a lot on my stuff. I was also thinking of like how I could make the move to there for winters. I felt really disconnected from Montreal, so it was helping me like work a lot on my stuff. I was also thinking of like how I could make the move to there for winters. I felt really disconnected from Montreal, so it was helping me like work a lot on my stuff.
قلنا لها أين أرض العراق فقالت ونحن بتربانها. وهبت بحسن هبوب الدبور مستقبلات مهب الصبا. رواني الكفاف وكبد الوهاد وجار الهوير بوادي الغضا. وجابت بسيطة جوب الرداء وبين النعام وبين النهر. إلى عقدة الجوف حتى شفت بماء الجراوي بعض الصدى. إلى عقدة الجوف حتى شفت بماء الجراوي بعض الصدى. إلى عقدة الجوف حتى شفت بماء الجراوي بعض الصدى.
That's why I want to also get away from the whole corporate world. It just doesn't fit who I am. And it's hard for me as an Arab who grew up tied to and really I value my culture and stuff, but I also am a very modern Arab, African and Muslim that had the chance to go and to try to explain to my family, to my parents. They're open-minded, they're both doctors, they travel, they speak a few languages, but there remains that box of the Moroccan society and the social class they're in to have that success model.
City, gentlemen. It's a very old city, has a lot of nice places. There's a river going in the middle. There's always you can chill at places where you look at the water, and it's a nice place. It's almost like what do you call it? It's like a big farmland that moved and became a city. There's always trees and stuff like that. So it's very, very memorable like that. Food. Oh my god, the best food. Seriously, because Iraq is one of the countries where people are a bit overweight too because of that. People are very passionate. It's a mix of Turkish, Persian, and the Middle Eastern food. So it's
that's mixed.
Yeah. Usually when you're in the middle of countries, usually their food is good because you have basically a mix of everything. So that's my memory of it. ever since then, like, holy shit, I went in 2005, and I was supposed to stay there for like a month or something. I stayed like 20 days and I left. It was so bad. It was like curfew at 10 p.m. There was at that time like the American soldiers were there. They were fucked. The Iraqi army was there in the streets and they were fucked. The police are corrupt. There's a lot of everything, you know. So ever since then, it's more like sadness. It's like something where, to be honest with you, I gave up on it in a way. Something you kind of like give up on the say dream of like, okay, I'm gonna go back home one day and it's amazing. That's kind of like, I'm over that. A lot of Iraqis are over that already. It's not gonna happen. And a lot of Arabic countries are in a similar situation. But in the same time, does that reflect a different type of love? Of course. Because now you want to kind of like rebel against that, like fix that in a way, you know, fix the image, fix like...
I told him it's a pride to see an artist like you coming from Syria, and the Moroccan people are with the Syrian people with what's going on. It's very, very sad, and I hope someday that you and I will be able to go back there and perform, hopefully. But with the conflict, he almost started crying. I told him that.
Just representing the Arab thing, and it's nice, but it's like another extreme.
What is she doing? She can't do this. I feel like I'm at a wedding or something. What is she doing? She can't do this. I feel like I'm at a wedding or something. What is she doing? She can't do this. I feel like I'm at a wedding or something.
هذا الغالي ما ينفع، هذا دكتوري آني، هذا الغالي ما ينفع، هذا دكتوري آني، درماني بدونه، ادري وين يودونه، درماني بدونه، ادري وين يودونه، درماني بدونه، ادري وين يودونه، درماني بدونه.
large crowd at her events, but I don't get it. But I mean, a lot of it's the queer community. If we were queer, we'd have more people too. But I don't necessarily want those people at my events.
Sometimes it happens to us, either when we collaborate together or with other musicians. And when you play with like a traditional village musician, or it's so simple and so touching, and we look at each other, it's like there's a moment of pure awe. Like, how is this even possible? That an instrument that was designed in Switzerland in 2001, and electronic music that has no specific rules or can work with a wooden instrument that's like 2,000 or 3,000 years old, and everything is it's like a painting, and it works perfectly and it's precise.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm just like, my lifestyle is not, I don't know, like, I don't know. I just don't really like, I don't talk much about like nationality stuff. My show's already like very like multicultural, so like,
yeah.
I don't know, this topic doesn't really come up that often.
Adam's Arab. I mean, I guess I never really thought of him like that. But I don't really see Adam's Arab. I mean, I guess I never really thought of him like that. But I don't really see Adam's Arab. I mean, I guess I never really thought of him like that. But I don't really see Adam's Arab. I mean, I guess I never really thought of him like that.
Person or you have value, this is what puts you in front. You know? Like this is what puts you as an Arab in front. Then you can say I'm Arab after like winning an award, not just by saying. And I think that's our problem.
Nothing really racist ever happened.
This music is my jihad against Orthodox Islam. For me, it's subtle, but it's there. This music is my jihad against Orthodox Islam. For me, it's subtle, but it's there.
Saadi left their first meeting with an anecdote. He told me about a time that he randomly went to the beach in Casablanca and sat on the sand, meditating for a few hours before he stood up and just mindlessly continued walking. He walked out to the pier and stood at the end, watching the waves breaking and crashing into the rocks over and over again. He looked out and said to himself, "This is techno." The way that the waves crash and are continuously different but always giving the same motion, the way that when you add just a slight difference to your loop, it changes the whole mood and it could even create a remix. The good techno, Gigi, it is art. I went to Casablanca shortly after meeting him for the first time. I make a point now to go to the pier and watch the waves break. This is techno.